Hi everyone. I just wanted to give you a brief overview of templates. So we've been talking a lot about templates the last couple of weeks, about you creating your own templates. But I wanted to spend some time this week talking about templates that are already provided for you in Word. So I just opened up Word here because I just opened Word, I didn't open a file, it just brought me to this window. So I'm going to, if I would open a blank document, so let's start here so you can kind of see with Word open, and I want to find a template. I can go to the File menu, choose New, kind of takes me back where I just was, sort of, and it takes me to where I can also pick from all different types of templates here. Business templates, it'll give you, gosh, anything you can think of, labels, letterheads, all different types of stuff, business cards. But what I want you to type in here is newsletters, because this week I'm going to have you creating a newsletter. And you can see that there's all different types of templates. I'm just going to pick, let me just pick this one for example. I can click on it, find one that I like, I can hit create, and it'll download and open my template. So you can see it has in here what we would call filler placeholder text, which is a bunch of gobbledygook. But it puts information in here for you to start with, so you can kind of get a visual of what you should be working with. Anytime you use a template, there's always going to be information in here that you have to get rid of. So for this assignment this week, you're going to find a template that you want to work with, and then you're going to go into that template and you're going to replace it with information that makes sense for you. So the sample that I have you working on this week actually is Pine Hills. Pine Hills is a golf course slash country club here in the Sheboygan area. And I have all types of information available for you in Blackboard as far as what you need to do. But I wanted to start with first going over how to bring up and use a template. So when you end up getting to the point where you're ready to use your template, you're going to put in your company information, you're going to put in your logo, and any other information that you want to include in your newsletter. So you'll see in Blackboard I have given you some basic information as far as just what you need to include in your newsletter. But the one thing I just want to reiterate really that I feel like is really important is that anytime you're using a template, it's always going to have, like what we see here, the logo, the name, a quote here. Now you might decide, I don't need this quote, I'm going to take up the whole top part of my newsletter here for just be my name, the company name and logo. A lot of newsletters will have even like the month and the date and so on. But the one thing I wanted to mention is just notice here, like in the header or footers, if there's things you're not using, make sure you select those things and delete them to get them out of there. So you don't have to include everything that's in the newsletters as far as information goes, but if you're not going to use it, make sure that you get rid of it. The other thing is sometimes in our samples here, like this example, it doesn't fill in all the space. So I would expect that you would not leave a huge blank space like this when you're doing your newsletter. Okay, so that kind of gives you a brief overview of newsletters. So what I've presented for you for this week is to create a flyer and a newsletter. You're going to use templates for both of these. So as I started with before, up until now, we've created our own templates for things, but I want to have you do some searching and looking for things that are available out there for you when it comes to Microsoft Word. There's a lot of stuff out here that you can use. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. So the other thing you're doing is a flyer. You're going to come up with completely your own information for this. Again, it can be related to your company, your own company, or you can just make up in a company in general. It doesn't have to be your own company. But you'll create an event. It could be strictly like a real business event in your company, like a meeting or training or something you're going to do, or it could be something fun, like some sort of summer event of some sort. And same thing as we did before, we'd click on the flyer, we'd click on create, it's going to download for you, and then you would fill in the appropriate information. And again, sometimes it's not going to have, you're just going to have way more information here than you need, or depending on what you pick to do, it might not have all the information you need. So you might have to fill in where needed or take out information that you don't need. So that's flyers. The last thing I wanted to go over is saving. So in this case, you'll see for the assignment, I have you uploading and submitting the Word document, and I'm also asking you to submit a PDF. And the reason it's always helpful to submit a PDF for something like this is that basically a PDF is taking a picture of your information. So let's say some of you have 2019 on your computers at home, and we're still working off 2016 on campus and at school. And let's say you bring up a template that I don't have. And so when I open your file, everything looks a little bit different. Maybe I don't have the same color, maybe I don't have the same font. But a PDF is a good way to save the information so it looks exactly how you want it to look when you send it to me. So so first of all, you would save it as a Word document. So you have it saved as your Word document. Then to save as a PDF, you'd go to the File tab, go down to Export, and choose Create PDF. And it's going to give you the PDF extension on there right away. And then you would choose to save where you want to save it to. I'm just going to save it to my desktop as whatever they have it here. I would not recommend you do that. You give it a name that makes sense to you. But just for our purposes here, I'm just going to hit publish so that you can see. So once you save it, then it's going to open it up in Acrobat or in whatever program you might have. I think actually right here on my Windows side of this machine, I don't think I have Acrobat. So it's probably going to open it up in the internet for me. But regardless, you'll have a PDF of the file as well when you're done, which is what I want you to do. Here it comes, just taking forever. You can see how slow my internet is by watching me here. So there's my PDF. Again, I don't have Acrobat installed in here, so it just opened it in a browser. But if you would have Acrobat on your computer or something like that, it would open it just to show you. You don't have to do that, but just to show you what it would look like. And you can see it just takes a nice picture here, gives me a good look at what your file would look like in the end. So when you're done, you're going to be all done with your Word document. You're going to also save it as a PDF so that I have both files. When you submit in Blackboard, let me go into Blackboard here. Here's the assignment where you can see you're doing a flyer, you're doing a newsletter. And I have in here that when you submit, you're going to also submit a Word document and a PDF. I'll actually have drop boxes here for you that are separate. You'll submit the flyer assignment and the newsletter assignment separate. And I've also included for you some samples of what students have done in the past, just to give you a little idea maybe of what I'm looking for. You'll see they're very different samples. So I also will have that uploaded in here for you. So this week, working with templates, this is not in the book at all. But I think it's a really good, if you haven't worked with templates in Word before, it's really nice to see all of the templates that are available for you out on Microsoft Word. And the last thing I wanted to mention, sorry, I just thought of this, I have it on here. But if you don't want to use Pine Hills as your newsletter information, you could use your own company, or you can make up a company. But you do need to pull information from a website or some kind of information. It has to be real text. It can't be the text like we saw in the sample template. It needs to be real. So you have to be able to go and pull information from a company website. But just note this down here. I did say if you'd prefer to use information from your own company or another company, you're welcome to do that. I just happened to choose Pine Hills because last year one of my students was working there. So we picked Pine Hills as we were talking through this assignment. And there's a website, they have nice photos on their website and such, so that's why we picked that. But again, you can pick your own. So let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I hope all of you are doing well. Take care.